Today we are going to make loaded vegan quinoa tacos. I used black quinoa in this recipe and I've topped it with a vegan cilantro cashew crema. In addition, I've got pickled onions, pepper slaw, some of my homemade salsa, and overall delicious. So let's get cooking. We're going to start making the recipe by making the vegan cilantro lime crema. We're going to start this recipe by covering 1 cup of cashews with water and letting it soak overnight. In the morning, drain the water off of the cashews and add them to a powerful blender. Add 2 tablespoons of nutritional yeast, 2 tablespoons of fresh squeezed lime juice, 1 clove of roasted garlic, 2 handfuls of fresh cilantro, and 1/2 cup of water. Blend all of that together until you have a smooth, creamy, delicious mixture. Put the mixture into a serving container and serve it with all of your favorite Mexican foods: tacos, enchiladas, burritos, tostitos. Next, we want to make the pickled red onions. You can make these the day before or at least an hour before by slicing 2 medium onions. Use a mandolin or a food processor to slice the onions. This will let you get them super thin. The thinner the onions are, the quicker they will take up the pickling solution. For the food processor, use an adjustable slicing blade and set it at the thinnest setting. Once your onions are sliced, go ahead and put them in a pint mason jar. Next, let's make the pickling solution. Take a saucepan and add 1 cup of water to the saucepan. Add 1/2 cup of distilled white vinegar, 1/2 cup of apple cider vinegar, 1/4 cup of granulated white sugar, 1/2 teaspoon of celery seed, 2 teaspoons of sea salt. Heat that mixture for about 1 minute. You just want to make sure the sugar is dissolved. Let the mixture cool and then pour it over your sliced onions in your mason jar. Put the lid on it and let it set for about half an hour minimum. If your onions are really thinly sliced, you can let it set for 15 minutes to a half hour minimum. And if your onions are a little thicker, you'll want to let it set for at least an hour, preferably overnight in the refrigerator. I like to toast the quinoa in a skillet until it's nicely browned and smells toasty. Then immediately rinse the quinoa and cook it in a kettle on the stove. I add 1 3/4 cup vegetable stock and cook it for about 20 minutes until the quinoa is soft and fluffy. Now for my SIS Simple as Smart tip for these quinoa tacos. Quinoa can be one of those grains that is a little bit bitter if you don't know how to cook it. I like to first toast the quinoa. It brings out that nice nutty flavor, and right after it's toasted, I rinse it in cold water. Quinoa comes coated with a substance called saponin, which is a bitter type substance. So when you rinse the quinoa, either after toasting it, or if you aren't going to toast it, you can rinse it before cooking it. It will rinse off that saponin and take away some of that bitter flavor. In addition, quinoa takes a while to cook, and some people may be rushed and not have time to cook the quinoa for their tacos. You can now purchase parboiled quinoa in the grocery store or on Amazon. It saves a lot of time and usually takes just a few seconds in the microwave to have perfectly cooked quinoa ready for your tacos. While your quinoa is cooking, go ahead and slice up your peppers until they're into thin strips, and then toss them with a tablespoon of lime juice and a pinch of salt. Set them aside. They will be ready for your tacos by the time the quinoa is done. Once the quinoa is cooked, melt about a tablespoon of coconut oil in your frying pan on medium heat. Add the cooked quinoa and stir. Then add 2 tablespoons of taco seasoning. If you don't have taco seasoning, here's the ingredients for making your own quick taco seasoning. Cook that mixture for about 5 minutes. Stir occasionally. You want to let the quinoa in the bottom of the pan get slightly crispy. Add 2 scallions that you've sliced into little rounds. The juice from one of your limes. Optional is some hot sauce. I used green dragon sauce. You can also use sriracha sauce. Mix that and cook for about another minute until everything is hot all the way through. Your quinoa is now done and ready to use in your tacos. Now for today's neuronutrition nugget. I want to talk to you today about quinoa. I used quinoa in these tacos for a number of reasons. 1, it's healthy. 2, it's delicious. And 3, many people consider it to be a super grain. It actually isn't a grain. It's a seed in the goosefoot family. This is the same family of seeds as spinach and Swiss chard. In addition to that, it's a complete protein. What that means is that proteins are composed of the building blocks of amino acids, and we have 9 amino acids that are considered essential amino acids. These are the amino acids that our body isn't able to make on its own, so we have to take those amino acids in through our diet. Quinoa has all 9 of these essential amino acids, making it so healthy for you. In addition to these 9 essential amino acids, quinoa is loaded with iron. Iron is that mineral that attaches to your red blood cell that allows your red blood cell to pick up oxygen and carry it to your brain and throughout your body, keeping your brain healthy. Also, quinoa has riboflavin, which is one of the B vitamins that is essential for good brain and muscle health. So all of these things make quinoa an excellent choice if you're a vegan or a vegetarian, or you just like to eat healthy. Once the quinoa is cooked, it's time to assemble your tacos. You can use either flour or corn tortillas, or even the crunchy tortillas, whichever you prefer. I used the corn tortillas here in this recipe. I browned them up a little bit in a skillet. Once your tacos are heated, go ahead and stuff them with all of the toppings. I start with the cooked quinoa as the base. Add to that cooked quinoa some of your pickled red onions, a little red pepper slaw, your favorite salsa, a slice of avocado, your cilantro lime creme that you made. Fold them together and serve your delicious tacos. Alternately, you can set all the toppings out and make a taco buffet. Let everyone add whatever they want to their tacos, so they have their own customized tacos. Thank you for cooking along with me today and making these delicious vegan quinoa tacos loaded with so many good toppings, including the cilantro cashew crema. Thank you for clicking the like button and subscribing to my channel. Also, go to Grow with Dr. Joe for lots more healthy vegan recipes, as well as many non-vegan recipes.